What's up everyone, I'm Poke Trainer Nick, and we're going to be going through a CGC order process, so a submission process in this particular video. So if you're a Pokemon collector like I am, there is a correct way to get your cards graded, and there are numerous grading services. Popular services include PSA, CGC, Beckett. It's totally up to you which one you want to use. They all have their own perks. For this particular video, we're going to be reviewing the CGC submission process. And now this company does comic books as well as trading cards. We're going to be focusing on the trading cards for this particular video. And we're going to be actually submitting some trading cards that we pulled in previous videos on this YouTube channel. So in particular, if we look at my desk cam here, if you've been tuning into the videos on the Poke Trainer Nick channel, you might remember some of these, or some of these might actually be new because they are pulled maybe after the video itself with the family. So for example, this Mewtwo card was actually pulled from the Miracle Twins Japanese booster box. And it was actually pulled by my daughter. The Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos card, which is pulled from the Sky Legend box, was pulled by my wife. The Venusaur and Snivy card, which was pulled from the Remix Bout Japanese booster box. This was pulled by my wife, Maria. We got the Braixen and Charizard card. So this one was once again pulled by my daughter. She is 4 years old. So this came from the Remix Bout box. And then finally, this Blastoise and Piplup card. I actually pulled, this was in the Remix Bout video that I had on the YouTube channel. This was a pretty exciting card for me. So we actually pulled all of the big hitters from the booster box. We didn't pull any of the special Japanese versions of these cards, but that's all right. We got the cards that are also found in the English sets, Cosmic Eclipse and the Unified Minds. None of them are valued at particularly high, but I personally think they are worth grading because they are classic cards, and we're going to see how to grade them with the CGC grading service. Now, let's go ahead and switch over to my video display once again. Today's shirt of the day is actually a programming related shirt. So this is Pokemon meets programming. So this is my day job kind of thing. But this is exceptions, gotta catch them all. If you are in the software development space, web dev, mobile dev, game dev, this should hit home to you. So just wanted to throw that out there. I think I got it at a conference. I honestly don't remember where it came from. So let's go ahead and switch over to the display. So you'll notice on my screen, I do have CGC up. I am a CGC member. So being a member gets you a certain percentage off all of their grading services. I think I'm a basic member or associate member. I think it gives me like 5% off their services. It's up to you what you want to do about that. Let's go ahead and click on the submit. And we're going to look at the services and fees and some of the timelines around that. So I'm going to click on trading cards. And we're going to scroll down. So we're not going to be using bulk or economy. We're going to be using the standard method this time around. So it's going to be $25 a card. It's going to be a 30-day approximate, and I want to get into what that means as well. But I'm also going to be paying for the subgrades as well. So this is another $7. But remember, it's going to be about 5% off because I am a member for CGC. So it's going to be slightly cheaper than the totals that you see here, and that's per card. Now, in regards to the turnaround time, so these are estimates. This is what CGC estimates. They're not guaranteed. I personally think they are very poor estimates. For example, I have a bulk submission that I sent in December, so early December. Back in early December, they quoted me at 30 days for bulk. It somehow turned into 111 days. We're in March right now. I don't know when the cards are going to come back. I mean, it's to be expected. I paid for a very cheap service. It was bulk. So they'll come when they come, and when they do come, I'll open them up on the stream. After having contacted CGC to figure out what these current turnaround times mean, well, generally what it means, and this is kind of the same way when it comes to PSA as well, it's 111 days since the oldest kind of ship back. So the last order that they shipped, because it was already graded, it took about that many days. So it's not 111 days from the moment that you receive them as their estimate. That's 111 days is how long it took to ship back basically their oldest order. So that times fluctuate. It could go up, could go down. We're gonna be looking at the standard method. It may be 30 days, it may be longer, it may be shorter. We're gonna stay hopeful here that that's what it is. In addition, you have to also anticipate that there will be a $5 handling fee for the total order. That's not per card, that's total order. And we want to make sure that we don't inaccurately describe any cards. Otherwise, we're going to be facing a fee on top of that as well. So let's get into that submission process. I'm going to walk you through what it takes to submit these cards. And then I am going to walk you through actually boxing up these cards and what it looks like to actually ship them. So let's go ahead and say that we want to go to the submission forms. And we want to submit a new trading card form. What we're going to do is we're going to say select, and we're going to select trading card. We're going to mail our cards into the headquarters. We're not in Florida over here, we're in California. And we're going to say that we want to do a grading service. And we're going to click next. So this is where we get to input our cards. So the first game is going to be Pokemon. The language is going to be Japanese. So let's go ahead and click that. The card name. So the first card that we're looking at, let me switch back to the desk. We're going to be looking at this Charizard Braixen card. So let's go ahead and fill that in. We're going to say Charizard and Braixen GX. We are going to select the card number, which if I look at the card is number 8 of 64. So it's already available to us. It's from Remix Bout. That looks accurate. It filled it in automatically for us. And it's from 2019, which I'm going to assume is correct. I honestly don't know. And we're going to choose a declared value. So this is where you have to kind of get accurate. Because this is for insurance purposes. You want to make sure that you're declaring accurately or the best to your ability. So that way they can properly insure your cards when they're storing them and mailing them back to you when they choose an insured shipping provider. So there's a trick to doing this. So up on my screen, I actually also have eBay open. So the way to do this is, let's go ahead and type in Pokemon. And I think I actually have it here, Pokemon Charizard Remix Bout. And I usually type PSA because that's kind of the standard there. There's also, it looks like a CGC listed. These are items that are currently for sale. We want to know what it was last sold at, so that way we can estimate what it's valued at. So let's go ahead and scroll down on eBay. And we're going to choose sold items. So I'm not an eBay professional by any means, but I'm going to assume that these were actually sold and not just expired. So these might be a best offer kind of thing. But if I scroll down here, sold March 11th, that's kind of close. This is the card that we're looking at here. So the Charizard Braixen card, $104. Looks like it was sold for that price. So that's what we're going to type in to the CGC form. So we're going to type in $104. And we are going to click next. So the variants, we are not working with any kind of special variant, so we're just going to click next. All right, so we're going to choose standard. And you can see that, remember, the standard was $25, but I do have a discount based on being a member. I'm going to click it. And I'm going to say that I want to add subgrades. Now I'm going to add it to the cart. And we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the cards in the queue here. So I'm going to go back to my desk cam. The next card that we're looking at is the Venusaur Snivy card from Remix Bout. So we're going to enter it in. So I'm going to go back into the display here, and I'm going to choose Pokemon. I'm going to choose Japanese as the language. I'm going to choose Venusaur. And I don't know if I misspelled Venusaur. Snivy. Did I really misspell Venusaur? I feel like I've spelled it so many times that I don't even know what to think anymore. So let's go ahead and type it in. We're going to say Venusaur, really, with the U. All right. I don't know how I messed that one up. Venusaur and Snivy. that's the one that we're looking for. So let's go back. Did I really misspell it again? Or maybe it's just not popping up. See if I can just paste it in. All right, if it doesn't pop up. Oh, there it is. Just had to refresh the form here. So Venusaur and Snivy GX. The card, if I look at the card, and I'll point it at my desk here, the card number appears to be 1 of 64. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to say 1 of 64. The set name is Remix Bout. It automatically populated for me. If I go to eBay once more, I believe I'm still looking at sold items. If not, I will change it back to sold items. All right, so it says sold. So I'll scroll back up. We'll look at the graded versions, not the ungraded versions. So here's a CGC. Ooh, that wasn't sold for very much there. Let's go ahead and say, again, I'm always going by PSA, just for the heck of it. That's English. That's not what I want. I want Japanese. All right. So we have one that might have been sold for $75. It looks like we definitely have one from CGC that went for $47. I'm going to maybe go in the middle here. And again, I'm assuming that these are 10s. I'm not, if they're not 10s, they're going to be a lot cheaper, but I'm going to assume that they're 10s. So I'm going to say probably $50 for this card. So let's go ahead and go into CGC, and I'm going to say $50. And again, you could really put whatever you want. It's just for insurance purposes. If you undervalue the cards and there's some kind of problem, you might run into trouble later on. Or if you overvalue them, you're probably going to pay more on insurance. So I'm going to say next. I'm going to use the standard submission, and I'm going to say that I do want the subgrades. The subgrades are optional, but I think they look cool, especially for these cards, because I've completed the set. And I think that they're nice to have. So I'm going to say add to cart. All right, we're going to do another one. So the next one is going to be and the order does matter. So let's keep the order. So I'm going to just stack them in the order that I'm grading them. So the next one, just for consistency purposes, I'm going to choose the Blastoise and Piplup card. Let's go ahead and see what we've got. So this is going to be Pokemon. This is going to be Japanese, Blastoise, and Piplup GX. And the card number again is, let's go ahead and look at it. Card number is 16 of 64. And it populated it. And let's go ahead and go into eBay. We're going to go Blastoise and Piplup. Go ahead and search. All right. So again, these aren't valued the highest, which is fine. I'm still okay paying them. The card that we actually have, it's not this top one. That's a different card. We actually have this Blastoise and Piplup down here. So it looks like it was last sold February 7th, and it was for $30.96. Let's go ahead and do it. Again, we're paying quite a pricey tier when it comes to CGC. That's all right for numerous reasons. So one reason is, you know what, these could be more valuable in the future, at which case it would require a higher grading tier in the future. Or in my circumstance, I really like these cards. I don't mind paying the extra money for them. They are going to go into my collection, and they look pretty sweet. So we're going to say, I don't know, we're going to say $30. So let's go ahead and go back to CGC here. I'm going to say 30. I'm going to say next. We're going to go standard. We're going to say subgrades, yes. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the desk cam. So let's get this out of the way. The next card is going to be this Mew and Mewtwo card from Miracle Twins. So let's go ahead and type it in. So we're going to say Pokemon. We're going to say Japanese. We're going to say Mew I don't know what the card is actually called. Mewtwo and Mew GX, I think. And this card is number 29 of 94. Miracle Twin, year, perfect. So we're going to say, let's go ahead and go Mewtwo and Mew. And that's from Miracle Twin. I think it's actually, the real title is Miracle Twins, plural. So what we're looking at is last sold March 8th. I don't know on eBay what the strike through means. Maybe it was a best offer. Let's go with this $99 one. So this looks like it matches ours. This is assuming that it was PSA 10. So I'm just going to say $100. Round it up. I'm going to say next. I'm going to do standard. I'm going to do subgrades. I'm going to add to cart. And I believe we're on our last card here. And this is the 3 legendary birds. This is not the mural version. There are various versions of all the cards that I'm submitting right now. So I think this is the standard version. I think it's pretty cool. And we're gonna submit it. So I'm not quite sure what it's actually called. So we're gonna play around with it and see which one pops up. So I'm gonna go back to my display here. I'm gonna say Pokemon. I'm gonna say this is Japanese. This is going to be maybe Zapdos. All right, Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, GX, that might be it. And the number is 35 of 54. There it is. And you can see that I sort of guessed on the card name field. It's close enough. It doesn't have to be the exact card name, as long as it's close enough to where the grader can recognize it. And that should save us from having to pay $2 because we have miscategorized our card. So this is technically close enough in my opinion. So it's part of the Sky Legend set, and let's go ahead and check out what the value is. So Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno. All right, and this is from Sky Legend. I'm still using PSA as my baseline, even though this is CGC that we're submitting to. All right, so we have a PSA 10. This looks like ours. So it was last sold for $60. So I'm gonna put down $60. And I'm gonna say next. It's gonna be standard. There's gonna be subgrades. I'm gonna add it to the cart. And we are gonna view our cart. So this is our submission. This is what we're planning to submit to CGC for grading using the standard tier. So it's the cart subtotal, what we're going to be paying minus the shipping is going to be $135. So it will charge us shipping because they need to be able to return the cards to us as well. And separately, outside of CGC, we're going to have to pay for shipping to send the cards to CGC. So we're probably going to be looking at around $150 total to send these. What do we have? 5 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 cards. Which again, based on their value, they're not the highest value cards, but I am totally all right with that. So let's go on to the next step. Checkout. Let's blur all of my information here. All right, so this is where we select our mailing service. So honestly, I haven't been able to figure this one out yet. I believe if I choose FedEx or US or UPS, it's not insured, which that's up to you if you want to take that risk. I'm going to choose USPS for $27, have them insured. It's not too much difference in price compared to the other two. I don't know if FedEx insures by default. I don't think they do. UPS, I'm not sure either. So let's go ahead and just choose USPS, registered insured USPS mail. So we're going to say next. All right, I'm gonna blur this whole screen here while I type in my information, and I'm probably just gonna cut it, and we're gonna go to the next scene here. So this is what we're looking at as far as information goes. So we're looking at $167, and that includes return service. It does not include shipping service to get to CGC, so I will have to pay a few dollars on top of this to send it in. But I'm going to go ahead and submit. I'm going to select both checkboxes, and I'm going to choose submit. All right, perfect. So this is the invoice. So what they're going to ask us to do is they're going to ask us to keep the order of the cards that appears on this slip. So we want the first card to be the Charizard card, the second card to be the Venusaur card, third Blastoise, fourth the Mewtwo, and fifth the legendary birds. So we will have to keep that order because we don't want to be billed extra. We don't want any kind of delays in our mailback service. So that's going to be how we send it. So I'm going to print that packing slip. All right, so I skipped over some steps because I didn't want to reveal my address or anything. So I printed out the invoice, the packing slip that it said. So the next step is we need to bundle these cards up so that way they can be shipped. So if I go back to my desk cam, we're going to look at the cards. We're going to look at how we package these up. So you'll notice that these cards, they are in Card Saver 1 cases. So Card Saver 1. And inside the Card Saver 1, there is a penny sleeve. So this is the recommended way to ship cards. They don't recommend that you ship them in top loaders. Definitely want to include the penny sleeve in there to prevent any kind of shipping damage. So interesting note about the Card Saver 1. If you go to Amazon right now or similar, you're going to get kind of price gouged. The people are taking advantage of the rarity and the desire to ship cards in for grading. So the prices are extremely high and overpriced if you try to order them online. So I ordered these from the manufacturer, the Card Saver 1s. I did have to buy them in bulk, but it came to $28 for every 200 cases. So kind of use that as a rule of thumb when ordering your Card Saver cases. I think you could order from CGC directly. I'm not quite sure what it costs. Just note that you're looking at about $28 for 200 of them. And then the penny sleeves, well, you're looking at about a penny per sleeve. So generally use that as your rule of thumb for pricing. So what we're going to do next is once the cards are good, we're gonna place them between cardboard. So I kind of do it the budget approach, and people, depending on the value of your cards, you may want to step up the game just a little bit in comparison to what I do. But these are just pieces of an Amazon box that I had lying around. So I cut them based on the size of the card savers. So it fits pretty well inside of this cardboard. What I'm going to do is I am going to put the cardboard on top. I'm going to sandwich them together. So, I mean, this isn't the strongest cardboard that's out there, but given the amount of cards that I'm sending, the value of those cards, I think we'll be fine. Now, a lot of websites, what they'll say is put rubber bands around these. Now, that's what makes me nervous, because the rubber bands, I'm worried about the rubber bands squeezing too hard on the cardboard and bending the actual cards inside. So what I like to do is I like to just use this I think it's just painter's tape. It's this paper tape. It's not plastic. It's really easy to remove. I like wrapping it in that very tightly, because then not only is it easy for the grader to remove, but I don't think it's going to compress the cards too hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the edge of my desk real quick. I'm going to seal it up, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I know people who get cards graded a lot, some of you might be rolling your eyes at me. I don't know. But I feel like this is safe enough for the cards that I'm interested in sending. Now, if I had a $500,000 Charizard, things might be a little different, but I don't. So let's, I think this will be fine. So I'm just going to seal it in both directions. So that way, at least worst case scenario, if they do shift, I don't think they're going to shift. At least they won't exit the cardboard barrier. All right, so this is what we're looking at in terms of my packaging job. So I'm sure there's always a way to do better out there. I think this is fine. So what actually happens next here is I usually just ship them USPS, so I'm in the United States. So this right here, and I'll switch to a different video cam here. This box, this is a priority mail box. This is a small, it should be a flat rate priority mail box. So these boxes you can get for free from the post office. They can actually mail them to you. You don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to pay for the box itself. So go ahead and order yourself some. So I believe to ship this, it's about $8 flat rate. And then to insure it, it's like $1 for every $50 of insurance. And my total value here is, what is my total value here? Let me pull out a calculator here. I don't think it tells me. So let's go ahead and pull out a calculator. So I have 104 plus 50 plus 30 plus 100 plus 60. So $344 of total value. So it's probably going to cost me like $11 or $12 to ship this to CGC in this small priority mail flat rate box. So what would happen is I wouldn't just stick the cards in there because then they can bang around. So I actually have some paper. So this is just random paper that I pulled out of a different Amazon shipment. So I would stuff it in that. In addition, I also have this bubble wrap that I would use. So what happens is I just picked this up from Walmart. It's actually a bubble wrap bag. So I would wrap it in there. Go ahead and wrap it up. I pull off the little sticky adhesive. I'd seal it. So at least now it won't take too much of a beating inside the box, even though I am padding it. And it is a bag, so even if it got a little water damage, I think it'd still survive fine. I don't anticipate it getting water damage. I don't think the post office is gonna leave my package out in the rain. But it does add a little peace of mind. I mean, the tape, the painter's tape here, or whatever you want to call it, I think this is like $1 a roll. These bags, it came in like a 30 pack. It was like $2. So nothing particularly expensive. And then the box itself was fairly cheap. I do seal it up with another plastic packing tape on top of it, which is relatively cheap as well. But I would stick it in the box, and I would go to the post office website, print my shipping label, and tell them to come pick it up, which they'll do for free. I don't even have to go to the post office. You can schedule a pickup the next business day, and they'll pick it up. They'll ring your doorbell if you want them to ring your doorbell. So pretty cool. So just a kind of recap here on what we did. So we prepared 5 cards to ship to CGC. This is one of the alternatives to PSA or Beckett or some of the others that exist. CGC is better known for comic books. They are relatively new to the grading game for cards. Their cases, from what I hear, I haven't received any back yet because I made the mistake of going bulk, and bulk has a extremely long wait time. So I may receive them next year for all I know. Hopefully this pack that I send comes back faster, but from what I hear, the cases are very nice. And we're going to be revealing them on the video channel when they do come back. So I paid for the service. I have a discount because I am a member of CGC. It came to $167 for them to grade and ship back, plus the probably $12 it costs to ship it to CGC. And I'll have my cards preserved forever at that point. So the process isn't hard. It can be laborsome, I guess you can say, if you have a lot of cards to ship. But probably what you're going to want to do is you probably only want to send the cards that either have value to you or have value if you want to resell them. I don't know if I'd go in and have a bunch of energy cards graded. That may not be valuable to you or anyone. I don't know. It's totally up to you, whatever you think is cool. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you hit that like button on the video. And it would also mean even more to me if you subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're looking to engage with me outside of YouTube, which if you wanted to engage with me in YouTube, drop me a comment. I will respond to it. But you could also find me on Instagram as PokeTrainerNick, and then on Twitter I am nraboy. So a little different on that Twitter space. So once again, hopefully found this valuable. When I do receive any kind of shipment back from CGC, I will be revealing them on the YouTube channel. I also have some PSA stuff going on. Likewise, in the future, I will be doing a PSA submission video as well. Until next time, have fun, everyone.